Look, I'm back. Yay. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I enjoy life out of YouTube. Better life. Hopefully this channel gets shut down soon. Hopefully. Anyway, let's talk about this. I know, I say that stuff. So, Seattle, we did it. We beat the Niners. Good job. You should have been like 7-0, but you know what? 6-1, not bad way to start. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's look at the stats. Okay. I'm going to say this. I know Niner fans are probably going to hate me for what I'm about to say. The Niners need to think about. It's time to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I know you people are going to say the Niners are dealing with injuries and all that stuff, but you're not completely out of not making the playoffs. They're not out of it yet. They're still a good defensive team, even though they haven't really truly played much competition. I think the 4 losses have been their best competitions yet. And Jimmy Garoppolo, he got injured in George Kittle, and I hope it's nothing too serious. Even though I don't like San Francisco, but you gotta hate the injuries. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I think when I kept saying to all you Niner fans, all of you, and I do mean all of you, I remember making a video saying, was Jimmy Garoppolo worth it? It's no longer on YouTube because stupid copyrights and all that. Apparently. But the Niners have got to think about what's the future with the quarterback situation. Is Mullins the QB? Is the guy named CJ, whatever is the QB? Jimmy Garoppolo the QB? They have a quarterback problem so far this year. And I know many people are going to say, well, wait, Jimmy Garoppolo, we can't trade him. He got us to the Super Bowl last year. He did not get you to the Super Bowl last year. He didn't. You made the Super Bowl last year. 1, your defense was legit. Your defense was, I believe, number 1 last year. And 2, you had the best running game. 3, a good offensive line. Jimmy Garoppolo was not the reason why you made it to the Super Bowl. If that's the case, why hasn't he done really anything? I know that he killed that you may bring up. Well, look at the Patriots game. How did he really do in the Patriots game? How did he really do? So right now the Niners to me have got to think, is Jimmy Garoppolo the guy or not? I have a feeling they're going to move on from him. I just have that feeling. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdown passes, 261 yards. He was 1 touchdown short of tying Tom Brady for the most touchdown passes in the first 7 games. We did not have our 3 running backs, so the old saying, next man up. Dallas, you were the next man up. Good job. DK, you are a monster. You are a beast. You are a force of nature. DK Metcalf is not from this world. He is not from this world, I tell you. Time possession, Seahawks outbeat the Niners. Niners barely beat the Seahawks on total yards. And 3 sacks. So, what did this game tell us? I want to say it does tell us about the Seahawks, and yes, there was improvement, but the fourth quarter Seahawks defense just looked sluggish. The defense in the fourth quarter just did not look great at all. They were completely shutting down until the fourth quarter, and Jimmy Garoppolo goes by the bench, and then they lost Kittle, and like I said before, I hope those guys are okay, but I think this game was about the Niners of what they need to do. What's a tough decision for them? Do you move on from Jimmy Garoppolo or not? I know this defense is injured, but why are you in the top 5 defense then? Why are you a top 5 defense, as they said in the announcer said? Your defense is not really the problem. The problem is your offense. You may say they don't have a number one wide receiver. Maybe, yes, they did not have Samuel, I believe his name is, in this game. You still had George Kittle, and yet you hardly used him. In fact, I think George Kittle basically got shut down the entire game. He got shut down the entire game. And still, the Niners have got to make a decision until the trade deadline. Now, it's on Tuesday. I would not be surprised if they try to trade for a number one wide receiver. I would not. But you have to think, if you're San Francisco, we are supposed to have the best offensive line. And Trent Williams is probably the best left tackle in all football. And you trade for that guy, but yet you're 4-4. You're 4-4. The Niners, I get they're dealing with injuries. But if Jimmy Garoppolo is that guy that you paid, what was it? 5-year, $100 something million? You paid that guy that much. At one point, he was the highest paid quarterback for 6 games. We're seeing it now. He was not worth the contract. He just isn't. So do I think the Niners he basically robbed the Niners? Well, people will always look at that Super Bowl run and those first 6 games when he got traded to San Francisco, but I don't know what the future right now is for San Francisco going out. I just don't. I don't really know. Can the Niners make the playoffs? I think they can. I think everybody in the NFC West, which is the NFC's best division, all 4 of those teams are playoff teams. But I don't know what's the fate of the San Francisco 49ers are right now. I don't know their faith. And I don't know if they'll even trade Jimmy Garoppolo. I know they're not going to trade Kittle. Don't get me started about there. There's no way. Kittle is a top 5 tight end. There's no way they're getting rid of him. But Jimmy Garoppolo will be a question, because if Jimmy is not doing good, and even the announcer said that, Shanahan said, Jimmy Garoppolo had a great practice this week. That's great practice, the way he performed. There was his stats. 11 for 16. 84 yards. 1 INT, 3 sacks. The other guy did better. And made it closer than it is right then. I can't speak, but still, though, you get the point. As much as I love the Seahawks, this game was more about the Niners, of what they have to do and what they have to decide. Do they trade Jimmy Garoppolo? Do they trade for a number one wide receiver? There's just too much right now for the Niners. And yes, they're dealing with injuries, but they're not completely out of it yet. A team that is a top 5 defense, as they said, and the announcer said, and still top 5 is top 10, that team should not miss the playoffs. But still, you have to think about the quarterback. Did you make the right move to give that quarterback the contract he got? Or not? Well, Seahawks win this one 37-27 over the San Francisco 49ers. Next game will be at Buffalo. So that should be another interesting one. And right now the Seahawks are number 1 seeded in the NFC, I believe, with the Chicago Bears losing. So, go Hawks.